I offer my very sincerest gratitude to all of you for so kindly coming to be with us this evening to celebrate the appearance of Lord Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Recently, I was in Calcutta and found a great treasure. There is a library of over 3,000 very rare, precious manuscripts, many of them originals by our acharyas, that was just given to the Bhaktivedanta Research Center. One very dear friend and exalted Vaishnav, Srila Bodhaya Maharaj, who is the successor of Prabhupada's godbrother, Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, in a very magnanimous gesture, he had what devotees tried to get for years and years and couldn't was given to him, and then he gave it to our devotees. So I was looking through some of the manuscripts. There was notebooks by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, diaries by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur that have never been published, that hardly anyone has ever seen. There was also some original notebooks by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his own personal handwriting. I was looking through one in particular. Babies should be brought to the room where the mothers have a closed-circuit TV, please. I was looking through one of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's personal notebooks, and I saw page after page of songs and prayers which were the original compositions of Thakur Bhaktivinoda. Gaur Arti, which we sing every evening. Radha Krishna Arti. And you know it's the originals because sometimes he'd have verse 1, verse 2, verse 3, then he'd have a line going to the top of the page or the bottom and insert a verse. And one of the songs that I was so blessed to see the original composition of, I'd like to sing for you this evening. Singing in front of my dear brother, godbrother Vyaski Prabhu. It's like a little baby child crying in front of a eloquent poet. Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan. Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan. Hati ache nam hata jivera karam. 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 Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan. 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 Sradavan jan hai, Sradavan jan hai. Sradavan jan hai, Sradavan jan hai. Prabhu aagyai bhai mage e bhiksha. Prabhu aagyai bhai mage e bhiksha. Bolo Krishna bajo Krishna karo Krishna siksha. Bolo Krishna bajo Krishna karo Krishna siksha. Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan. Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan. Hati ache nam hata jivera karam. Hati ache nam hata jivera karam. Aparada sunya hoye loho Krishna nam. Aparada sunya hoye loho Krishna nam. Krishna Mata Krishna Pita Krishna Dana Pran. Krishna Mata Krishna Pita Krishna Dana Pran. Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan. Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan. Krishna samsara koro chadhyanacha. Krishna samsara koro chadhyanacha. Nadiya Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan. Nadia Godru में नित्यानंद महाजन भाती अच्छे नाम हता जीवेरा कारण भाती अच्छे नाम हता जीवेरा कारण Krishnera samsara koro chadiya nicha Jive toya Krishna nam sarva dharma sa Jive toya Krishna nam sarva dharma sa Nadia Godru में Nityananda Mahajan Nadia Godru में Nityananda Mahajan Bhakti अच्छे नाम हता जीवेरा कारण बोलो कृष्णा बाचो कृष्णा करो कृष्णा शिक्षा कृष्णा माता कृष्णा पिता कृष्णा दान प्राण जीवो तोया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म Nadia Godru में नित्यानंद महाजन Nadia Godru में नित्यानंद महाजन Bhakti अच्छे नाम हता जीवेरा कारण अपराधा शून्य हो ये लोग हो कृष्ण नाम अपराधा शून्य हो ये लोग हो कृष्ण नाम Krishna Mata Krishna Pita Krishna Dhana Pran 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 Jive Toya Krishna Nam Sarvadharma sa Krishna Toya Krishna Nam Jive Toya Krishna Nam Sarvadharma sa Nadia Godru में Nityananda Mahajan Nadia Godru में Nityananda Mahajan In the land of Nadia, on the island of Godrum, the magnanimous Lord Nityananda has opened up the marketplace of the holy name, meant for the deliverance of all fallen souls. O people of faith, By the order of Lord Gauranga, O brothers, I beg this one request. Chant Krishna, worship Krishna, and follow Krishna's instructions. Being careful to remain free of offenses, just take the holy name of Krishna. Krishna is your mother. Krishna is your father. And Krishna is the treasure of your life. Giving up all improper behavior. Carry on with your worldly duties only in relation to Krishna. The showing of compassion to all fallen souls by loudly chanting the holy name of Krishna is the essence of all forms of religion. Thank you for tolerating my broken words, Vayaski Prabhu. You are too humble. Thank you. When I was holding this original composition of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, just an old notebook, so old that the paper was filled with tiny little holes. Each page had hundreds and hundreds of tiny holes from either ants or worms eating it away. Almost 100 years old. Seeing Bhakti Vinod's writing with little cross-outs. And he would write on the lines, and then he would think of something and put a line and put it up vertically in the margin. It was just touching. I felt so immensely purified. But of course, the sound vibration of these prayers and these songs are immortal. In the song we have sung today, he is expressing his deep gratitude and appreciation for the mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Today, being Nityananda Trayodasi, the appearance day of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, we'd like to speak something in the spirit of this song of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Brajendra Nandana Jai Sachi Shuto Hoilo Se Balarama Hoilo Nitai. In this age of Kali Yuga, Lord Krishna appears as Lord Chaitanya, and Sri Balaram appears as Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Arama Karuna Pahundu Ichan Nitai Gaurachandra. These two brothers are supremely merciful, unlimitedly kind, because they are giving freely to everyone and anyone without discrimination the most intimate revelations of love of God, the very perfection and essence of every spiritual path. And they are doing it in such an accessible and simple way. All that is required is our faith, our willingness to live a life of servitude with humility, and in that spirit to chant the holy names. Today in mourning, His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj presented a brilliant, dramatic class on Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya's intimate, loving relationship, of how Lord Nityananda would disobey Lord Chaitanya would chastise and criticize Lord Nityananda, all in the feeling of ecstatic love. Because spiritual love is the whole perfection of the love of the soul. And the various emotions that we experience in love in this world, which are filtered through the ego and the mind, contaminated by arrogance and anger and greed and lust and illusion. But these same emotions, in their absolute perfections, exist between the Lord and His devotees. Or anger and chastisement is something very beautiful. Radhanath Das Goswami writes that he's quoting Krishna, that more than hearing the praises of the priests and the pundits who are perfectly chanting scriptural prayers and glorification of the Lord, Krishna says, I feel more satisfaction being chastised by the elderly gopis of Vrindavan, and even more satisfaction by the young gopis of Vrindavan. Krishna explains how he, in his different avatars, he killed Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, the most powerful demons in all of creation's history, who were creating such disturbance. And the Lord, He did away with Agasura and Putana and Vatsasura and Kamsa. But He finds millions of times more happiness being defeated in wrestling by little cowherd boys. This is the nature of the intimacy of spiritual love. You see, because these types of relationships in this world cause pain. They cause pain because love is so easily betrayed in this world, and that hurts our hearts so much. Or if it's not exactly suddenly betrayed, it just kind of wears off. The thrill is gone, and it's just like, what are we doing with each other? We get tired of it. Look for something new. Or even if it lasts pretty well, inevitably, somebody's going to die. So let's not worry about this love stuff because it's just too painful. Let's just try to find peace and extinguish all desires. But we find beyond that realization is perfect spiritual love, where there is unlimited variegatedness. So Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, they appeared within this world to give that, the highest revelations of love in the spiritual world, through the God's names. Now Lord Chaitanya, we read, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. That Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna in one form. Krishna takes on the emotions and the complexion of Sri Radha, the feminine aspect of the absolute truth. And in Lord Chaitanya's Leela we find sometimes he assumes directly the role of Krishna when he sits on the throne in the house of Srivas and he accepts worship of his devotees. Or sometimes he actually manifests his form of Krishna to intimate associates. At other times, he was immersed in the feelings of Srimati Radharani, tasting the sweetness of the ecstasy of her love for Krishna. But something else, please hear carefully. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the mood of Sri Radha, not only did he taste the highest pleasure of her love, something that he could not even fathom without taking this form, but as Srimati Radharani, the loving mother of all living beings, he was expressing her compassion to all living beings. Sri Radha's all-forgiving motherly love for the fallen souls who had forsaken her, betrayed her since time immemorial. But as the Supreme Mother, she may not be pleased with us, but whoever we are, whatever we've done, her love always remains the same. It's infinite. It's inexhaustible. It's unlimited. And seeing the conditioned souls in this world bereft of their natural spiritual happiness broke her heart. This breaking of heart is not like the breaking of hearts in this world. Breaking hearts in this world is frustration due to something that we may not be able to control, but it's just happened to us due to attachment. But her broken heart is an expression of her love, for her desire for every living being to be happy. Sri Radha wants to see every living being again with Krishna. And this was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood. And he expressed his mood of Radharani's compassionate side most openly to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu appeared on this day, 13th day of the waxing moon in the month of Magh, in Ekachakra. there was massive drought in the whole area. But as soon as Nitai came out from the womb of Padmavati as the son of Hadai Pandit, there was beautiful rains. And instantly crops and flowers and fruits and grains started growing abundantly. And he was so beautiful and so kind. Nobody knew who he was, that he was Balaram himself. He was God. But he hid his opulences just so that he could enjoy and be enjoyed intimately by his devotees. When he would sit on somebody's lap, he had a beautiful golden complexion, and his limbs were so soft. Whatever worries, frustrations, anxieties disappeared forever. They could never come back. What did that mean? It didn't mean the problems weren't there. You see, people who approach religion or spirituality or God with a material mind, we're praying, let the problems go away so I could be happy. But however much problems go away, they come back. Either in this form or another form. But Nityananda's little smile was only about this big. But those little lips of his baby form had such power. It mitigated all problems forever. How? Because you experienced such love, feeling his love, that all the problems in the world were insignificant. That is the transcendental state. Krishna tells in Gita, Dukkalayam ashashvatam. In this material world, birth, old age, disease, and death are the nature. How could we really find deep happiness where there's birth, old age, disease, and death? The real happiness is to go beyond it, to go deeper. To realize param dristvani vartate, that higher taste of experiencing Krishna's love. And once we experience Krishna's love, our love naturally manifests. It's reciprocal. So this was little Nitai in Ekachakra. He would just smile and everybody would be liberated forever. And when he got a little older, where he started running around with friends, day and night he would just play games. But all his games were dramas, enacting Krishna's pastimes. And Nityananda Prabhu, very small children, 3-4 years old he was doing this, 5 years old, 6 years. He would do this his whole childhood, all day. Sometimes. And all the friends would go and Nityananda Prabhu would be the producer and the director. And sometimes he was the main actor and he would put all his friends in perfect little costumes. Someone would play Kaliya and he would play Krishna, and then he would Kamsa and do Ram's Leela, Krishna's Leela, Dattatraya's Leela, Varaha's Leela, Narsingha's Leela. And it was so perfect. And usually, because he would be with his friends all day, they would play, parents would get angry. But because all the children were with Nityananda, they were completely happy. And one time they asked little Nitai, how do you know all the lines of the scriptures so perfectly in all these dramatic little performances you do? And he spoke the truth, but nobody could understand. He smiled and said, "These are my pastimes." So can you imagine how thoroughly attached they became to him? But then when he was 12 years old, a sannyasi came to the house of Hadai Pandit and spoke the whole night about Krishna. And then the next morning, Hadai Pandit said, "I am your servant. Ask anything of me and I will give you." Of course, he was a Brahmin. He didn't have much. The sannyasi said, "Please give me your son, Nityananda, because I'm on a pilgrimage and I require a nice assistant." Now in those days, when you give a 12-year-old boy to a sannyasi, you probably will never, ever, ever see him again. There was no emails or anything to keep contact with each other. He was traveling all over. He was going to be traveling to the peaks of the Himalayas and to the shores of South India, everywhere. Although it was the most painful thing, Hadai Pandit and Padmavati, they understood, they gave their word. And they must fulfill it. And little Nitai, he just blissfully left home. But then when he left, the parents realized what they had just done. They just gave away their son. They gave away their life, their soul, their everything, the only thing they lived for. And when the news spread to Ekachakra, everyone in the village felt the same way. People were running in all directions looking for the Swami. And they all had the same determination. When we find him, we'll give him our sons. But let us have Nityananda back. Because everyone loved Nityananda more than they loved their own lives, their own family, their own everything. But he was gone. Hadai Pandit could not eat, he could not sleep. For weeks and weeks, the only thing that kept him alive was remembrance of Nityananda. And ultimately, some months later, chanting the name Nitai Chand, he passed from the world. And Padmavati also. Meanwhile, Nityananda Prabhu traveled for about 20 years, going to holy places. But he never told anyone about Krishna. Because he came to be the instrument of Lord Chaitanya's compassion. And then when he heard news, he would go to holy places, including Vrindavan. He was there. And he would ask people, "Where is Krishna? I don't see Krishna." And they said, "Oh, Krishna, he's in a beautiful golden form now, living in Nadia. If you want to find him, you have to go there." So when Lord Chaitanya started the Sankirtan movement, Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met at the house of Sri Nandanacharya. And from that time, the two brothers were together. The next day, Lord Chaitanya brought Lord Nityananda to meet Sachi Devi. And for those of you who know the story, Sachi Devi's eldest son, Vishwarup, left home and took sannyas when he was a young man also. And she never saw him again. But Vishwarup was an expansion of Nityananda. They were identical practically the same person in two different forms. So when Sachi Devi first saw Nityananda Prabhu, the same exact ecstatic love of her heart for her eldest son Vishwarup, and even more, awakened in her heart. And she embraced Nityananda. You are my son. You are my son. You are my very son. And Nitai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were most intimate brothers, enjoying beautiful kirtans together. And we read in this song by Thakur Bhakti Vinod how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his spirit of Srimati Radharani's motherly love for every living being, would reveal his mind to Nityananda Prabhu. Because they were one and the same person, Nitai Gaurachandra, in two forms. But Nityananda Prabhu was always in the mood of the servant. Nityananda Prabhu knew Lord Chaitanya's heart so perfectly. And there are so many occasions where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Devamrita Maharaj was saying this morning, wanted to teach lessons to the world. But Nityananda Prabhu knew his heart. He knew his intentions so perfectly. Therefore, the Lord revealed his heart so intimately to Nitai. In the mood of Sri Radha, Lord Chaitanya would weep. He would cry to see people committing sinful activities, binding themselves with karma in which they would have to suffer so bad. And even pious people who would generally become very, very proud of their piety and never humble themselves sincerely with devotion to God. Literally, this broke the heart of Lord Chaitanya. And one day he approached Haridas Thakur and Nityananda Prabhu with an astonishing request. Not a request, an order. Something no one has ever done. He said, I want you to go to every house, door to door, to every marketplace, shop to shop, on the street, person to person, and give this message. Krishna's your mother. Krishna's your father. Krishna's your real wealth. Krishna's your very life and soul. Chant Krishna's names. Worship Krishna. Speak about Krishna. And if you do so, you will be my very life and soul. Lord Chaitanya was so kind. When he personally asked people to do this, if anyone, whoever they were, whatever they did in the past, if they would just take Krishna's name sincerely, Lord Chaitanya would personally put a garland on their necks. He would embrace them with tears in his eyes. He would express his debt to them. And what did they do? They just accepted his love. He would tell these people, you are my life and soul for accepting my love.